When you're deciding what to wear in the morning, do you go by what the weatherman or the weather lady said yesterday, or do you have a look outside and try and figure out what it looks like? You see, if you're relying on other people, you've probably been disappointed in the past. I don't know about you, but where I live here in Sydney, we've been disappointed by the weather. The weatherman can't necessarily get it right, and I'm talking about apps and news weathermen and all that sort of stuff. A lot of times they don't get it right. And with trading, it's a bit similar because it de- when you're asking the question, where is the market going? Oftentimes the answer is it depends. It depends on what you're looking at. Same thing with the weather. If you're looking at last week's forecast to see what they thought today would be like, or last night's forecast, or just what you see when you look out the window in the morning when you wake up, you're going to probably have a different response and a different answer. And so I've got the pound here. This is the 1 hour chart. You can see here. This looks like an uptrend. If I were to look at this, and I would say, well, it's probably going up. By the way, if you want to learn more about how to take a small account and grow it quickly over 300 trades, we're going to try and take my $1,000 account and ramp it up to 100K over 300 trades. You can click the link below this video to get more information about that. So I think that if you were to, and I wrote about this in Naked Forex, in the book Naked Forex, you may have seen it. I said, look, if you want to figure out where the market's going, you can ask like a kid, like a 7-year-old kid, and say, hey, where's this line headed? I think if you were to look at this sort of short term here, and you ask your kid, you give him a biscuit or a cookie, you say, hey, is this line going mostly up, mostly down, or mostly up and down? I think a lot of times what you'd probably see here is your trend indicator, your kid, your consultant would say it's going mostly up. But if we start to look at a different time frame and all of a sudden we start to look at the 4 hour, it looks a bit mixed. We look at the daily, it definitely looks like it's going down, although it's currently up. And if we look at the weekly, even more so. Again, this has been going down since a couple of years ago, over a year ago, from when this recording was made. And not only that, but now look at what happens when we look at the monthly. This is where it gets really interesting and why I like to look at the market through multiple time frames. Look at all of this support that came in 2016, 2017. Here we are at this recording. It's 2000 midway through, more than midway through 2019, and we have this giant monthly candle that just went boof and just settled right here. In fact, I think last month's close at 121.55 would have been the lowest one here. Yeah. So even lower than the lowest close over here. So already we have the lowest close. And so the question is, what is the market going to do? Now we know if we look at the 1 hour, it looks like the market's going up. If we look at the monthly, it looks like the market's going to break this level. I would be shocked if it didn't eventually break. And the reason why I'd be shocked is because I know that most of our trader buddies here are going long. They're buying the pounds. 72%, in fact, are going long right now. So what does that mean, and why do I pay attention to that? Well, it means a lot of people like to go against the trend. Most retail traders, which is where that information comes from, they go against the trend. So what I'm thinking is that this little move right here, I'll go back to the weekly, is simply a retrace move. And not only that, but we could probably contain that retrace move with a line here. We'll make this line nice and thick, and we'll color it blue just to make it show up. And so what I think is going to happen, now I don't know when this is going to happen. I do think it's going to happen though. This market will probably follow this trend line, and eventually you'll see a big fat candle fall through the trend line and close well below it. Then I'll put my sell stop below that candle. I'll put my stop loss up above that candle or above the recent high, whichever one's higher, and I'll ride that sucker for all it's worth as long as the market is showing me that most of our traders are buying the pound. Most of our traders think that this has gone too far, so therefore it's a strong trend. And that's basically how I use that information as strength of trend. So now, if you go back and look, you'll see that this sort of thing has happened repeatedly on this pair and on other pairs that have been trending. You'll notice a lot of times what happens is the market will make these moves. Actually, probably the daily would be a little bit better to see this. The market will make these moves, and then it will fall through and keep going lower. So here's one right here, you can see. Did it right there. Here's another one right here. I did it right there. Now that one is tricky because it fell and it came back up, and I think that stopped me out when it did that. But then made another one right here, and this one again would have been okay. I think I took that one too, because the stop loss here would not have been hit because your stop loss is up above here, and we've fallen again. So I love trading the trends like this. I love waiting for the retrace moves. And if you want to go aggressive, what if we were to get a kangaroo tail here? Like right up here, what if there was a nice fat kangaroo tail right here on this level, which is around 1.22 even on the pound? That would be brilliant. So I would be watching for that on like the 8-hour or the 12-hour chart. See if we get a nice wicked looking wiki kangaroo tail there, and then I might take that as a sell as well. So there you have it. I hope that this helps. If you'd like to follow along with us as I look to grow my $1,000 account, you can click the link below this video and get more information on that. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.